Congratulations, you found the love of your life. I love grand. You're going to be together forever and ever. Unless you're not. What about all that property that you accumulated before you got married? What about your kids from your other marriage? What about the debt that the other spouse has? In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not you should get a prenuptial agreement. Hi, my name is Sean Palmer with the Palmer Law Firm, and I've been practicing law in the great state of Texas for the last 19 years. And in that time, I can tell you one thing, divorce is stressful. And anything you can do to reduce the amount of stress in a divorce, you should do. But you're not getting a divorce, you're getting married. You're going to be living together forever and ever. But if you look at the national statistics, you'll see that anywhere between 40 and 50% of marriages end in divorce. And that number varies greatly from state to state, but here in the state of Texas, we're pretty much on par with that statistic. And if you were looking at this from an insurance perspective and you were thinking, should I get life insurance because I have a 40 to 50% chance of dying in the next few years, you might want to get that insurance. So that's the way we see it here at our law firm about a prenuptial agreement. It's actually insurance. And there's a lot of good reasons that you're going to want to get a prenuptial agreement, or at least sit down and talk about it with your future spouse before the marriage actually happens. Because as we know, good beginnings don't always necessarily mean good endings. And a prenuptial agreement is an agreement between the two future spouses prior to the marriage that certain things will happen should the marriage end in divorce, or should the marriage end because one of the two people die. So one of the ways to look at a prenuptial agreement is not necessarily as an unromantic thing that you're contemplating a divorce even as you're getting married, but more of an estate planning and very serious sit down with your future spouse about finances and what expectations are. And isn't that really what you should be doing anyway when you're getting married? You should really, at some point when it's very serious, sit down and have a very serious discussion about how the household's going to be run, about what expectations are, because if you get those things settled before they become problems, you can deal with those what ifs when you are not in a stressful situation. So a prenuptial agreement is a way to deal with the what ifs when everybody's calm and everybody's thinking positively about the future and rationally, and thinking, if this happens, this is what our expectations are. Another good thing about prenups and doing prenup prior to getting really all your other wedding plans all together is that it's focusing the couple on having that hard discussion about finances in general. So by getting a prenup, you can use that occasion to talk about things about, are you going to have joint banking accounts, who's going to be paying the daily bills, those kinds of things that kind of get forgotten when we're in the excitement of the marriage period, and we're getting planners and getting sites for your wedding and things like that, and cakes and whatever else. That serious discussion is going to be very important, setting the groundwork for a solid marriage. So getting a prenuptial agreement is obviously not the most romantic thing in the world, but it's part of that serious discussion that two mature people should be having before they're entering into a lifetime commitment. They got to see eye to eye. If you're going to be, a marriage is a joining, of course, so you got to join all your thoughts together. And you're not going to agree on maybe every single thing, but there needs to be some negotiation and some talking about things, about what's going to happen in the future. And if you do that early and you're successful in coming up with that, you'll be able to solve all kinds of other problems as your marriage goes on. So by now dealing with those issues of the what ifs and getting those things out of the way before you begin your marriage and a lifetime of happiness together, you can focus on the now when that's happening, when you get the what ifs out of the way, when you're nice and calm and things aren't being stressful. And if a divorce should happen, I can tell you that dealing with stress during a divorce is the #1 challenge that I face beyond the legal challenges, of course, is client stress. And if these things have been thought about ahead of time, then you can reduce that stress during divorce, and it'll be a much more amicable separation should that happen. But you don't have to get a prenuptial agreement with the mind frame of that you're getting maybe a divorce in the future. You should get a prenuptial agreement thinking that this is a planning stage for us. It's sort of an insurance policy. We don't plan to get sick, but yet we get health insurance. We don't plan on dying anytime soon, but we still get life insurance. It's just the mature and right thing to do if you're entering into a serious relationship. Prenups. Should you get a prenup? Why shouldn't you get a prenup? That's the better question. So if you have any questions about prenuptial agreements or this video or anything in general, just give us a call or visit our website. We'll try to answer your questions for you. And I hope this has been helpful. We'll probably have other videos in the future about getting into more details about the prenups, but definitely think hard about getting a prenuptial agreement before you get that marriage license. And if you have any questions, give us a call. I'm Sean Palmer with the Palmer Law Firm, where we can't protect your heart, but we can protect your rights. Let us know if we can help in any way. Thanks.